Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? What?
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks. Presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to Week 6. Cam, 5 weeks have gone by real fast. Last weekend we both had decent weeks. I was 9-5, you were 8-6. 3-0, both of us on our best bets, though. We agreed on 2 of them, which shows you when we agree on our best bets, Cam, good things happen. We got to do that more often.
When we agree on our bets and you don't say it's a lock, then we do better, right? Anyway, great pick switching to San Francisco. On the other hand, I texted you last night. I'm like, hey, Drew, I like the Raiders now. That's the whole thing. Like the NFL, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, honestly, my opinion changes on games from hour to hour, minute to minute. But man, if I got off that San Francisco game, if I just listened to you on that game, I would have been rich because I had 10-game teaser, big parlay. But we swept the board with the early games, Drew. I'm looking at my list going, I got every game right. And then the 4 o'clocks hit, I'm like, I even thought, Cincinnati's probably a better play than Arizona. You know how it goes, right? Like, You have these regrets when these games start, and sometimes your real bets, you get out of them. But on the show, what can we do? We can't just go, hey, we're switching our bet when the game starts. But that's what live betting's for. And the Cowboys were so bad, I couldn't even get out of that bet. They were down 14. I'm like, I got no hedge opportunity here. These guys stink. San Francisco, let's call it out for what it is. I've never seen a team like this before, Drew. Like,
they're just the best team in the league.
No, not just best team, like best play calling. They knew everything was Dallas was doing before Dallas did it. It's almost like
guys, it was wide open. It was like Purdy was playing practice.
It was honest to God. They had Mike McCarthy sitting there like a stooge, which he does a lot. And I'm like, wow, the Dallas defender is where the receiver is. He's already waiting on the interception. Like it was actually, it was almost like it's like they're like, oh, this is great. We can't wait for this game because Dallas is going to do nothing. We know every play they're running. Hey, Dallas, maybe get more creative. And Dak Prescott, he's another guy. Like even when they blocked him, overthrowing receivers by 10 yards and stuff, this guy's not a very he's got to figure it out. He's only good when he has like tons of time. Like his accuracy
or run. Well, how about you use your all-star running back, Cam? There's not. Just don't use Tony Pollard. We don't need to use the running back. It's just
no. Mike McCarthy's he's a bad coach. I got to be honest with you.
I can't wait till
is the best.
Kellen Moore, Cam, smokes him this week, and then they talk about, oh, maybe we should have kept this guy instead of McCarthy.
Well, we'll get to that a little bit later, I guess. But let's roll this week. Tough week again. Every week.
Some big injuries. Travis Kelce suffered ankle sprain / Achilles sprain. They don't know that he's likely going to be out Thursday. Justin Jefferson put on IR for 4 weeks. Anthony Richardson, AC joint shoulder sprain. He's going to be out long term. So Minshew Magic. Cam, as soon as I saw Minshew come in that game, I was like, oh, Titans were on the wrong side. I was like, it would have been fine if Richardson stayed in, but Minshew Magic, baby. And my biggest play of the weekend was Christian McCaffrey over 73.5 rushing yards, which I gave everybody. But the Cowboys are so trash, he didn't play the whole fourth quarter. They were like, oh, just give the ball to Mason. We don't need to use McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you saw it, Drew. It's like they're dangling you a piece of meat, or for me, it's like, hey, new bar, free drinks. I'm like, oh, okay. And what's the catch? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they serving me cyanide? Like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'll tell you this, like when something's too good to be true, like remember I told you, I'm like, that sounds so good. Like that prop was like 15 yards off, but hey, the books get it, buddy.
It's insane. Hey, everybody, we'll get back to the show in a second, but once again, this show is brought to you by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino, featuring a brand new betting platform with even more ways to bet. Plus, Sports Interaction Casino, the best in market with live 24/7 dealers, so you can play blackjack all night like Cam Stewart likes to do. Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Bet local. Head over to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN 19+. Please play responsibly. Now back to the show. All right, Cam, let's start Thursday night. It's the Broncos going to KC to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs covering numbers, Cam. We didn't think they could do it this year. They're covering 10.5 point favorites at home. The total is 49. The Broncos blew that game against the Jets. When we called it, that was our gold pick. But Zach Wilson trying to give them the game at the end, throwing a pick for no reason. I was like, what is this guy doing? I thought he was going to blow it. But do you trust the Chiefs to cover a huge number against the Broncos?
No, and Chiefs Nation, you're going to hear this every week. I don't even know what's going on. So they have a pass interference call at the end of the game that you picked up.
Oh, man.
I cover that game. Maybe went outright on Minnesota. Then the player takes his helmet off. You don't even give him 15. They have no time to come back and do anything at the end of the game. Honest to God, like this is getting to be a running joke in the National Football League. And I'm not saying the Chiefs aren't good, but I don't know. Like Patrick Mahomes, it's actually funny. On other shows, Drew, I've talked about it. Tom Brady got less calls than this guy. Like we've been talking about, like their team gets more calls than like.
I don't know
Tom
about
Brady
that.
Patriots. No, I'm telling you though, it's getting ridiculous. Like it's at the same. Like Tom Brady, at least when he played the Saints and he got smoked, it was like, okay, Tom, like Patrick Mahomes is the darling of the league. Kelsey, they love the publicity they're getting. Like, anyway, the Chiefs are a great team, but every week it seems to be they're always on the right side of calls. You called it week one with the right tackle offside every play. They actually had to talk to the league about fixing that. So anyway, the Chiefs are great, but you know what? I'm taking Denver this week, Drew. I don't care. Denver's horrible. It's a divisional game. I'm getting 10.5 points. The whole world's going to be on Kansas City. I might change this pick, but as it stands right now, kind of a spite bet. The Denver Donkeys, as Mick Ozzie likes to call them, they're horrible, but I got to take 10.5 points. Give me Denver.
Yeah, without Travis Kelce, their weapons are very slim in KC. The issue is, like, Mahomes doesn't lose to the Broncos. Like, his career, it's never lost to the Broncos. It's crazy.
But all we got to do is lose by 10 or less.
I know. I got to go with the Chiefs side of this still, just because the Broncos look like the worst coach team in football. And that's saying something with Josh McDaniels and Mike McCarthy and Brandon Staley, all these guys. Sean Payton looks like he's way out of his league right now, Cam. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. So embarrassing to lose to Nathaniel Hackett's Jets team.
I'm happy for Nate Hackett. Stay out of his business.
Yeah.
You didn't need to get in the guy's business. He didn't do anything. Like, leave him alone. So he's a bad coach. Like, and you saw the players; they were happy for Nate Hackett. He might not be the best coach or whatever, but he's obviously a liked guy, and that's what you get, man. Karma's a bitch. Like, and that's the thing. You want to rip this guy for no reason. You call him the worst coach, and you're part of the coaching fraternity. That is probably one of the lowest moves ever. That's really weak. But good on the Jets and good on Hackett.
I love the under in this football game, Cam, because I don't think these teams are going to be scoring too many points. 49 points is a lot, but I like the Chiefs to cover this number. I could see it being like 28-10. Like, I think it'll be a Chiefs blowout, but a low-scoring blowout, if that makes sense. Where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
Oh, I think I'll go with Kansas City on this one to start the show, Drew.
Correct. KC, Bagman loves the Chiefs, eh? Every
really
week.
Does. I think we should actually get him a Chiefs jersey because he seems to be giving up on his other 100%. Team. Wink, wink.
Maybe what's Chiefs jersey? The black and white stripes or the red and white one?
I don't know who we're gonna get him. I don't know what player. No. Mahomes, like who?
I was making a referee joke, Cam. Said black and white stripes.
Drew, I haven't even woke up yet. Like, see, I got a cup. There's nothing in it. Where's my drink? Anyway,
it's like when you're on the talk show and you have they give you the cups and you're like, "There's nothing fucking in this cup." Like, well, why did you give me a cup?
I wish it was alcohol, but anyway, I can't believe I bet on the Broncos. Obviously, I got problems.
All right, Cam. The Ravens going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. 3.5 point home dogs. They keep serving the Titans up as dogs, and we keep.
This is London. What? Is it nice?
Yeah. You're right. Cam, it's early for me too. This is the 9:30 a.m. Sunday game.
We're rolling. I can't sleep. You got a kid. Like, we're struggling this morning.
Yeah, Thanksgiving with kids, not a fun time. Anyways.
Oh.
Yeah, the Titans, London losing a home game, 3.5 point home dogs. They're not home, but they're home dogs. The Ravens, Cam, coming off a disappointing performance against the Steelers. We were both on the Steelers. We both said it was going to be close. AFC North matchup. Where do we think the Ravens bounce back in this spot against Tennessee, or do the Titans wake up? What do you think?
I'd like you to start. I really don't know what to do. Tennessee is just one of those teams at home. I love them. Like, I was on them against the Bengals and they destroyed them. Like, when they take their show on the road, I worry a lot. Like, 2-0 at home, not great on the road, but you know what? I think if they have the proper game plan, they could win this game. I'm really not sold on Baltimore, Drew. Like, I thought the Ravens were going to be a lot better. They've been very lackluster.
So did I.
Mark Andrews called them out, drops, but they can correct those things, but I'm getting 3.5 points. I got to take Tennessee. I think a big dose of Henry, and they're going to go old school on the Ravens. Tennessee's always had a good game plan against Baltimore, and it's more Derrick Henry, Travis Henry. More Derrick Henry. Let's get that going. We're getting 3.5 points. Tight game in London. I think this one comes down to the wire. So when I think it's a field goal game and I'm getting 3 in the hook, I'll take Tennessee.
Cam, I'll take the Baltimore Ravens here. I think, like Andrew said, I don't know if you saw the highlights of the game. Ravens receivers are dropping everything. I felt so bad for Lamar. Every pass was just hands dropped. I was like, guys, come on. And Steelers defense is way better than the Titans defense. Just plain and simple. So give me the Ravens to win by 3.5. I think they can win this game by double digits. I think they're just a way better football team. I love the Titans this year, but they've let me down now 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. So where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one, Cam?
Ravens. I think he's going to go with quote the Raven.
Correct. He is with Edgar Allan Poe on the Ravens side. You like that one?
Yeah, I did. I'm actually very impressed by you right now. I worked with a guy who's 50 years old last night who didn't know who Mary Hart was. I go, her legs were insured for millions of dollars. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Good friend too, great guy, but just sitting there, I'm like, wow, that was pretty shocking actually. But Any guy over 35 should know that. But anyway.
All right, Cam. The Commanders going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons 2.5-point home favorites. We were both on Atlanta to beat Houston, and it didn't look good at the end there, but then they drove the field, and Koo kicked the game winner for us. Do you think they can beat the Washington Commanders coming off their disappointing performance against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears? I can start this one. I'll take Atlanta in this spot just because of the home team. Like we said before, styles make fights. They can keep Sam Howell and that passing offense off the field. I think this is Riverboat Ron's last game as a head coach in the NFL.
I think it's time for Riverboat Ron to hand the reins to Eric Bieniemy, who will be a better coach. Like Ron Rivera, you've had a good run. Like, you're also sick and older. Like, I know people are football men for life, and God bless you, but it's time to step away from the team. Be a consultant with the team. You don't need to coach them. I'm with you on Atlanta. You know what I liked? I liked the fact that Desmond Ridder got better at the end of the game. He actually got some confidence. His guys are trying to big him up. I don't like the fact that the line went up to 2.5 instead of the opening line of 2. I wish it went the other way, but people are going to remember what they saw last through. That's why I'm scared of this game, because we saw Washington get beat down by the Bears. And by the way, after I found Dick Butkus died like an hour before the game, I actually bet the Bears, but we were already done that video. Give me a Frank Falcon. 2.5 chirps over the commies.
Yeah, I think, Cam, this is the point where, when a team's like giving up on their head coach, I think they almost want to lose this game. I know no one wants to lose a football game. Relax, everybody in the comments. I understand they're professional athletes, but I think he's lost the room, and I think Bieniemy will be the head coach by next weekend. Weird to say, but we'll see. All right, Cam. The Minnesota Vikings going to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears coming off their huge blowout of Washington last week, like we just mentioned. Minnesota coming off their disappointing loss to the Chiefs. Cam, no Justin Jefferson. They're now only 3-point favorites against the Chicago Bears. I will tell you right now, this is going to be in my minerals. I absolutely love the Minnesota Vikings, Cam.
You know what? I was going to take the Bears, and I agree with you. This might change. I think everyone's down on Minnesota. They've been screwed a lot this year. They also, let's be honest, they used to be the luckiest team, and it's amazing how the NFL flips. They're the most unlucky team. Against the Chargers, they got the ball back when Staley was a goof, and they made that play. Last week, got burned on an interference call and no penalty on the Chiefs. Like, Minnesota can't do anything right. And they're actually not as bad of a football team as I thought. Well, their offense is good. One thing about Chicago is I kept DJ Moore on my bench, Drew. I literally won my fantasy league by 1 point because Adams did nothing last night. That last catch got me the win. So lucky. This guy's amazing. Like, I'm starting him this week at flex. I have to.
You have to.
Like, no, if I don't, I deserve to be lose my credentials as a fantasy football player. I'm taking Minnesota as well. I think I love home dogs in Chicago, but I'll lay 3 with the Vikings.
Cam, everyone remembers what they saw last. Everyone saw Chicago with the blowout on Thursday night. That was Washington, everybody. That was a random Thursday night game, short week, everything. Now it's so much later. Justin Fields, do we think he can keep it going? I don't know. Yeah, he can keep it up, but I don't think he can throw 4 touchdowns again. I think Minnesota wins this game by 7-10, so I have to take the 3 points. And if people keep betting Chicago, just wait for this number. I think it could get to 2.5, Cam.
Yeah, it might be. People or think the Bears are coming around. They are playing a lot better, but for me, it's Minnesota. This is their battle of 1-4 teams. Look at them, 1-3-1 ATS. The Bears are.
If Minnesota loses this game, their season's done. They're trading Kirk Cousins.
They're close to being done, but if they lose this game, it's definitely done. And I don't know. I think Minnesota needs to just dig deep and find a way. They're well coached. I still believe in O'Connell. I don't think he's a bad coach by any stretch, but they've had some really bad luck this year. Maybe they turn it around in Chicago. But I got to be honest with you, Drew. I'm getting 3 with a home dog that's playing better. We'll see. I'm on Minnesota now, but that could change.
All right, Cam, let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts with Gardner Minshew going against his old squad. Revenge game, Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-point home favorites. They've been in London forever. They're finally back. I'm surprised they don't have a bye week this week, but they decided not to. I think it was the team's choice, which is weird. You'd think after 2 games in London, they'd be like, yeah, give us a bye week. But nope, they're hosting the Colts, 4-point favorites at home. Big win over the Bills. We told you that the Bills were going to be weren't going to cover that number. I didn't pick the Jags outright, but we knew something was fishy about that. Do you trust Minshew to beat his old team or what?
Yeah, I do. I think Jacksonville is on their way up. I know Indianapolis has been a real gritty team, well coached. This is my test for Jacksonville. If you go in and win this game and cover the number, I think we can say the Jaguars are back. It was a big game. ATN's running hard, Drew, like he did at Clemson, your boy. And I just think the Jaguars, I worry about the time adjustment coming back from double back-to-back weeks in London. But here's the horseshoe. You got to find out a way to stop Minshew. If this was Richardson, I'd probably go think this is a lock with Jacksonville, but I'm still going to take the Jaguars here. I think this is a game that they can win by a touchdown to 10 points. I think they're better than Indianapolis. Indianapolis, though, the problem is they're very well coached. Very well coached.
Cam, you just confused the shit out of me because you're all on the Colts side at the beginning of that sentence. Then you switched to the Jags in the middle of the thing. I was like, whoa, what's going on? I thought you were picking the Colts based on what you were saying.
No, the Colts are well coached. I think those guys are doing a good job. That's what I have an issue with the Colts. Like, they're not that good, but they're well coached, and that's a real problem. But Jacksonville's a better team, and they're at home. Find a way. The problem is they're 0-2 ATS at home, but I think this is the week they get it right. Jags by a touchdown. They cover.
Yeah, I like the Jags in the spot as well. They just beat them by 10 5 weeks ago, Cam. So it's not like a new opponent. So I think if this was maybe 10 weeks down the road and they weren't ready, but like you already just beat this team. Jonathan Taylor's back, yes, but Gardner Minshew's at quarterback. And yeah, he looks better than Richardson, but at the same time, he's not as mobile. So you'll be able to let Josh Allen rush the passer anytime he wants. I like the Jags in this spot, Cam, to win this game by a touchdown like you as well.
Here we go.
San Fran going to Cleveland, take on the Browns. 80% of the public is on San Fran -5. Browns coming off a bye week. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. 5-point home dogs. Looks like Deshaun Watson will be back. Cam, everything in me says to take the Browns here, but am I wrong? Is this just a trap?
I don't know. They haven't played the game yet. What are you asking me for? Tell me what the final's going to be. I'll tell you one thing. The Browns are going to be probably a mineral pick for me. If one can actually put Brock Purdy and knock him out, it's going to be Cleveland. They have time to prepare with Jim Schwartz in that defense. San Francisco coming off a huge win against Dallas on national TV that everyone saw. Every public dollar will be on San Francisco in this game. Screw it. I'm taking the dog pound in Cleveland. I think they could win this game or lose an absolute heartbreaker at the end. I'm getting 5. Give me the Browns. I'm telling you, Drew, one of these weeks San Francisco is not going to cover, and this is the week I think it's going to be. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think they're going 17-0, Cam. Like everyone, I see people going like, "Oh, San Fran might go perfect season." I'm like, "Okay, settle down."
If they're going to lose the game, this is not at home on national Sunday night TV against whatever. That's why they play these games. It's the National Football League. Cleveland has had time to prepare. Like when I think about spots, I think about Cleveland has not been in a better spot. And if San Francisco covers this game, I will say, just give them the Super Bowl trophy now if they don't have any injuries. This is what I'm saying.
And the Browns defense by far the best in the league in terms of yardage allowed per game. So
you see what they've done. Like if they got to come up with hey, listen, if you give Purdy time, he's going to kill you with those weapons. The one thing Cleveland does is they don't give you time. They've killed every quarterback they've played this year. None have been at the level of San Francisco, but this is a test. Cleveland, time, defense, smart coordinator, San Francisco feeling good about themselves. Give me the Browns. I think they sleepwalk through this game and barely win.
I think the Browns are sneaky underdog here to win this game outright, Cam. Like you said, I think the issue comes with the offensive side. If Cleveland can score, they'll cover this number. That's the issue. San Fran's defense is also very good. This game could be 6-3 by the time it ends, Cam. Like it's a crazy game.
And then I cover. I don't care.
No, 100%. I do like it too. I'm just saying, if the Browns score some points, I think it's an easy cover. But I think it's all on Deshaun Watson's shoulders. All right, Cam. The Seattle Seahawks, your Seahawks, going to Cincinnati, take on the Bengals.
Did you pick Cleveland or San Francisco?
I took Cleveland. That's what I said. I took the Browns.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Waiting for Bagman's pick, which would have been San Francisco. Next.
I can confirm it would have been. All right, Seattle going to Cincinnati, take on the Bengals. Cam. Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase back as 7-11, always open, like you said. Smoked the Cardinals. You didn't get off the train fast enough last week, but let's see if you're still on it.
But not for the show. But that's my issue. So
yeah, exactly. The Seahawks, Cam, can they win as an underdog in Cincinnati coming off a bye, or is it Cincinnati's time to get back on top of the AFC?
Oh God, this game is so tough. I'll tell you one thing about Seattle. They're 2-0 on the road. They cover on the road. They beat Detroit on the road. They killed the Giants on the road. They're better on the East Coast. I'm taking Seattle. That is one sample size with Cincinnati. If they do it again, then the Bengals will be back. So I have to invest in Seattle as a 2.5-point dog here. I think they actually show up. I really like what I saw from that defense. And I know it's the New York Giants, but Seattle's playing a lot better. You know what the thing you could do to Cincinnati? You could do what Cleveland did to them. I think Kenneth Walker is essential in this game. Like their running back duo with him and Charbonnet, all they have to do, they want to turn this into a street fight and make Hubbard and all those other guys on the D-line over pursue. And I think Seattle will be fine. It's up to Pete Carroll and the staff to have a good plan this week, but I will take Seattle getting the 2.5 in a very close game. I will take the dog, Drew.
Cam, like I said last week with Burrow when they were a 3-point favorite, I can't not take Joe Burrow and the Bengals when they're under 3 points. All they have to do is essentially win this football game, which I think they are going to. So I got to go with the Bengals here. If Seattle wins, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think Cincinnati's just the better football team, Cam, when healthy. If you rush Burrow and make him uncomfortable, then Seattle can win this game. Can they get the pressure on him like Arizona couldn't? Maybe. But I'll take the Cincinnati Bengals here, Cam. Where do you think Mystery Bagman is on this one?
Bob Bengal.
Correct.
Have a bagel.
So it's
yeah.
3-0 on tiebreaker picks. I'm telling you, man.
I told you. I wish this was betting in real life. I would honestly be retired.
So the Saints going to Houston to take on the Texans, Cam. Saints 1.5-point road favorites. The total is 41.5. That's a low total, but the Saints just don't score many points, neither do the Houston Texans. I still like the over in this game. I think though 41's a low total. Where are you starting in this one? Would you like me to start?
Yes.
I'm going to go with the Saints here. I think we saw the struggles of the Houston Texans last week against Atlanta when you can run the football and keep them off the field. Stroud didn't look as great as he had the first 4 weeks of the season last week, and I think he'll struggle again because the Saints defense is very good. Give me the Saints to win this game like 23-20, which is enough to cover the number.
I will take the Saints as well. I think they turned a corner last week. I know it's New England, but I was on the Saints.
Slaughtered. Cam, why didn't you stop me from making that switch? I looked like an idiot. I was like, I'm going to switch the Saints to New England. And you switched back the other way. It was smart.
No, but I love the Saints. Like, the more I thought about the game, I'm like, this is their spot. They've been playing pretty bad all year. No, you're not an idiot. You took San Francisco. I took Dallas. Who's the idiot? Okay, you know what? You're an idiot. I'm an idiot. Let's make idiot plays.
Both idiots.
Give me the Saints as my idiot play this week. Hey, we're only laying 1.5. Here's the thing about Houston. They're a great story. And I love CJ Stroud. By the way, congratulations, setting a record for most passes with an interception for a rookie. And that deserves a lot of love when everybody else is hyping all these other rookie quarterbacks. He's been the best out of them all. I will take the Saints, though, in this spot. The Saints are a good football team that got off to a bad start. They're horribly coached, though. Anytime we lose it, like Allen's horrible. Like, they actually had a real coach. They could have beat the Patriots by 60. But anyway, we'll take New Orleans, hold our breath that they actually have some good play calls and win this game by 3 or 4 and get out of Dodge. All we got to do is win by more than 1. That's fine.
Yeah, I like it, Cam. I'm in agreement with you. The Carolina Panthers going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins smoked the Giants. Almost didn't cover late. I was worried. I was like, oh, no, we need a backdoor cover here from New York, but they didn't get it. Carolina, 13.5-point dogs. You love cats as dogs, but do you love cats as dogs in Miami is the question. I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Dolphins. I can't bet on the Carolina Panthers. What about you?
I will take the Cats. We will make this. I'm against the Bengal cat, but I'm going to be back with my old friend Paul Panther. Going to give him a pet. Hopefully he's under control this week. Almost a cover against the Giants. Here's the thing, Drew. Just questions. This is why this could change. Just questions. Could open that line at 14.5. Miami money.
Yep.
Under 2 touchdowns. Seems interesting. Everything's a lock, right? Yeah, sure it is. And NFL football games, nothing is a lock. You saw Baltimore can lose out to Pittsburgh outright. The Jacksonville Jaguars can beat Buffalo. A lot of weird things can happen in this league. You're right, though. Carolina, this is a bad number. Look at this team. 0-3 on the road ATS. 0-4-1 ATS to start the year. These guys have not covered a game.
I can't bet on them, Cam. I just can't.
You know what? They almost are unbettable. But me, Drew, as I said before, I always give everybody sometimes 5 chances when they screw up. And that's Carolina. Give me those pesky house cats. Carolina, more like eating raw meat instead of tender vittles and meow mix. Like, I need a mean cat this week. Give me the 13.5 with Paul Panther.
All right, Cam. Where do you think Mr. Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I think he might be going Mike Miami or Don Dolphin.
Correct. Mr. Dolphin. Mr. Dolphin.
This is like, honestly, can I do a show with just Bagman's picks? Like,
yeah.
Like, what's my record with his picking his selections here? 92%? Like, I literally, it's like
maybe more, maybe higher. Yeah.
Like, I literally think I got like 1 or 2 wrong all year.
Yeah, it might be higher than that, Cam. Yeah, my only issue with Carolina is can they keep up with Miami's offense?
There's a lot of issues with Carolina, but
no, I know. But Bryce Young did look decent last week. It was probably his best game of his career so far. He threw a couple touchdowns, but yeah, we'll see.
Against the Giants too. So anyway,
the Patriots, Cam.
As we said, anything can change this week. These are initial picks and leans. Like, there's nothing other than Cleveland, who I bet already. I have not made any other bets.
Yes, I agree with you. The Patriots, Cam, going to Vegas, take on the Raiders and their former OC, Josh McDaniels. McDaniels almost blew it last night against the Packers. Decided to kick a 52-yard field goal when you need 1 yard to win the game. I was like, holy shit, this guy's just stupid.
honestly, are you McDaniels? Like, are you trying? Like, you were the dumbest. Like, people laugh at Staley. Like, you have Jacobs. Your line
Yeah.
actually, you had a couple. Like, if
Well, and Garoppolo had 3 QB sneaks already in the game.
great call, Drew. You had Garoppolo. He's great. Now, one thing he learned from Brady, how to quarterback sneak. That's one thing he does well. And you're sitting in a kicker. Like, that wasn't Carlson's fault. That it hits the bar. Like, you knew it was going to hit the bar and miss.
The
or go
50-yard. Oh, I knew he was missing it as soon as he sent him out there. I was like, oh, this kick's done.
I'm out of the 2-minute warning. I'm like, great. This idiot has a hard decision to make, and he'll make the wrong one, like he does every week. Anyway, the Raiders are too much. Give me the Raiders -3. I don't know what to do with the Patriots, but the thing is, this is dependent upon the Patriot injuries. I don't know what's happening with Gonzalez and Judon. And these
Cam, if Bailey Zappi starting, are you switching to the Patriots?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I figured.
What do you think? Are you going to do
I like New England in this spot game. Josh McDaniels is just, he's going to get outcoached.
Give me New England. Is Zappi going to start? Is Zappi going to start?
I'm assuming so. How can you start Mac Jones after the last 2 games?
You know what? Give me New England. But Bill Belichick off that loss. You're right. The Raiders are a hard team to lay points with. Give me New England. I'm with you.
I know New England's gotten smoked the last 2 games. They look brutal, look like one of the worst teams in football, but McDaniels is going to somehow fumble the bag here, screw it up late, and Belichick's going to be like, listen, that's why you're my OC and not the head coach here. Yeah, Cam. Honestly, the Raiders last night, I think, would have been better off punting that football than kicking the 50-yard field goal.
I didn't agree with you.
It's like I was like, you could either go for the first down or punt it. And he comes out the field goal. I was like, they need a touchdown anyway. What the hell does the field goal do for you? Honestly, it does absolutely nothing.
Think about being Andy Reid in that division. He's immense with these morons. He walks into a party and goes, I'm like, actually, I look kind of like a walrus. I'm a big fat guy, and I'm like 10 times smarter than these guys. Like, think about it. You're dealing with the brain trust of Staley and McDaniels. I wouldn't trust those guys to fix my tire, let alone.
And Sean Payton. Don't forget, don't miss out on Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah. Nate Hackett's an idiot. Oh, yeah. Good old Nate, you loser. How's your team doing, you jerk? Anyway, I'm going to tell you something. Like, this is like Andy Reid is like he must like literally go home to his family and go, what a life I lead. I'm dealing with this division. Like, am I right, Drew? Like,
he's got Mahomes and a bunch of fucking misfits, and like it doesn't matter who he's throwing to because he's like, well, look at our division, we're winning it regardless.
It doesn't matter. Like, Denver could be winning this game, like they have the best game of the year, and they'll find a way to screw it up. Like, so I'm just Anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, give me New England, Drew. I think you're onto something. I really like your set. I think it's a very savvy pick by you.
All right, well, we'll see when the Raiders smoke them, and then we're good. All right, Cam, your second favorite team, third favorite team, the Detroit Lions, going to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. You love Baker Mayfield, though, too. I know you're a little Baker guy. 3.5-point road favorites. Total is 43.5.
Yep. Should we give him credit?
Do you trust the Lions to cover against Baker coming off a bye? What do you think?
Yeah, I do. The line's gone up to 3.5. I don't like the fact that right now a lot of people are on. We have a lot of Lions tickets out there. I think the Detroit Lions is a superior football team to Tampa Bay. I'm a little bit concerned going against a home dog. Tampa Bay's been good. Like this game is not easy at all. I think it's going to be right around the number. I think probably Detroit wins by 4. It's 3.5. A very difficult game. It's not easy for me, but Detroit has weapons. They have the type of team. You know what the thing about Detroit is too, Drew? I prefer their road game as well. Like very similar to Seattle. No, but they're 2-0 on the road ATS. That's fine with.
I know. But I'm saying I'd prefer like Goff in a dome is a lot better than Goff on the road.
I don't know. Tampa Bay's pretty hot. They talk about his small hands and stuff. It's not like it's going to be cold there or anything like that. It was a winter game. So anyway, I'm taking the Lions. I already got Paul Panther. Give me Leo Lion and or Larry, whatever you want to call him. I got 2 cats this week. And the Bengals could beat Seattle too. It could be a cat week, but
I'm going on Tampa Bay, Cam. I think their defensive line is going to get Goff pressured. He's not as good outdoors. I know it's sunny weather. I just like Tampa in the spot coming off a bye to prep for this Detroit football team. Gibbs maybe out again. I don't think Montgomery's going to be able to run the football as well as he has against this Tampa Bay front 7, Cam. And I think that's an issue because then it's going to force Goff to throw the football. And I think Baker can do enough to at least cover the hook. If this was 3, maybe I go Detroit, but the 3.5, Cam, I love that part of it. So give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Detroit.
Wrong. First wrong one of the day. He's on Tampa. Or not he, him, her, whatever. On Tampa Bay, Cam.
Thank God we're not criminals together. But anyway, I love you like a brother. Like you'd be in the interrogation room. Hey, our buddy there, Jim. He's walking down. I was like, okay, thanks, man. Like, shut up, Drew. You're the best. Him, her, Whoever, yeah, I know, and I might just switch to Tampa Bay. Home dogs are very dangerous in the National Football League, but I'll go with Detroit for now, Drew.
I could see this being your one switch on Thursday, but we'll see.
I could making about 7, but
Yeah, yeah. You always say that and you only make one, so we'll see. Arizona going to LA to take on the Rams. Cam, the Cardinals 6.5-point road dogs. The Rams cut back. Looks like he never left, Cam. It was just like, oh, bam, here's Cup. His prop was 70 yards. I was like, 70 yards? I was like, that was stupid. And Puka Nacua looked like still the real deal, even with cut back, surprisingly. The Rams, Cam, almost gave the Eagles fits in that game. Eagles still covered. I like the Rams to absolutely smoke the Cardinals here. I don't know. I don't believe in Josh Dobbs anymore.
Okay, I'm going to take the Cardinals. This game, you might as well flip a coin, in my opinion. Arizona's still like Cincinnati. Like I know they pulled away a little bit, but Arizona's still a gritty team.
James Conner injury is a big blow, though, Cam.
You're right. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely correct, Drew. Like that's actually a really astute point. Like that guy changes everything for the things that they want to do.
They were great until he got hurt. Like they were running the football against Cincinnati.
I'm leaning Arizona right now, but you're right. It's under a touchdown. Like I'm on the fence. Like I can't believe. Like imagine my life depended on this game. I'd be, you got me switching to the Rams. Like, but I'm going to take Arizona for now. But as you know, I'm going to wait a little bit, do a little more research, figure out some things here. But you're right. The Rams are starting to get healthier, and that's bad news for the Cardinals. But it is a divisional game. That's why I'll take a small little bird right now, getting 6.5. But that could definitely change.
All right, where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one? Correct. Back on the winning side. You didn't even think about that one. That's what when you don't think it's like.
Yes, well, I know what the Detroit Tampa Bay one. I thought about it, and the minute I thought, I was wrong. So you just don't think.
Exactly. The Eagles, Cam, going to New York to take on the Jets. Zach Wilson, big victory over the Denver Broncos. Now just 6.5-point dogs to Philly.
Please start.
I think this line should be 4 more points. It should be 10.5. So when I think a line's wrong, I have to go with the side of Philly. Listen, their offense looked like it started to wake up. Their only issue is their red zone offense, which surprisingly, the Jets defense is very good. But I think Zach Wilson's like against that defensive line, Cam, the Eagles might get 8 sacks in this game. I can't see the Jets scoring enough points to cover this number. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles here just because of their defense.
I want to take the Jets. Actually, like their defense can keep them in the game. They've been pretty gritty, but
I just don't trust Wilson against the Eagles defense, Cam. That's the issue.
This is the thing. Like, when are these guys going to wake up? That wasn't even a great game against the Rams. Like, is this who they are? Or are they better than this? I will know it. I'll take the Eagles because it's under a touchdown. But this game, another game that I'm totally 50-50 on. Like, I have no idea what to do. I think the Eagles might win by a touchdown at 6.5. The Jets defense is good. They beat Denver. Okay, Denver's horrible. But anyway, I'm trying to make cases for the Jets. They're a home dog. They're actually 3-2 ATS, and they're 2-3. Like it's like like what are the Eagles? 3-1-1, same, basically the same thing. I'll take the Eagles though.
The Eagles sloppily, Cam. They look like they're barely winning this football game, barely winning it, and then they still cover the number and win the football game outright. So like the fact that they're looking so poor and still 5-0, like they're gonna wake up at some point, right? And I think, well, I'm not an Eagles fan either, but. I think they cover this number. We're both on that side. Sunday Night Football. New York Giants going to Buffalo, take on the Bills. The Bills back home after their trip to London. 14-point favorites. That's a huge number, Cam, but it looks like Tyrod Taylor might start this football game, apparently.
Here we go. Storylines. Former Bill, Tyrod Taylor. Game of his life. No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it might. Brian Dable, first time back in Buffalo. Like, if anyone knows about Josh Allen, it's him. Like, there's some little things here that make me want to pick the Giants. But you're also getting angry Buffalo off of that disappointing loss in London. This is a bad spot for the G-men, Cam. I don't know where you can start this one. I don't know. I'm on the fence here.
I'm on the fence on every game except for I'm taking Cleveland, and that's probably the stupidest pick of the week because people are going to go, "You're an idiot." But here's the deal: one thing we know about Buffalo, Drew, and your Buffalo Bill, is after getting embarrassed, they beat the crap out of another team. Like when they beat Miami up in a good spot, like. Here's the thing. 14 points is ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid. This line should be like 10.5, but it's there for a reason. It almost feels like it's to attract Giants money. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win this game by 24 points. I think they annihilate the Giants. Tyrod Taylor, I hope the guys like on the team, like some guys didn't like him, because if they like him, there might be a backdoor cover here. But you know what? It's Buffalo. But I worry about their defense. Like, Drew, your season is in big trouble with the injuries you guys have now. Like
Milano is a huge loss.
I know it is. But the thing is, how do I take the Giants? Like, that's one of the things. I would take Buffalo, but again, like, this spread's ridiculous. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to take the Bills at 14. It opened at 15 and it's been bet down, but the money's coming on Buffalo. So it's a reverse line movement, which I don't like to see ever. It's like they're trying to bait you, like, oh, look, the Bills are only 14. Bet on the Bills. But I'll take Buffalo in this spot. Like you said, they slaughter teams that are worse than them. Their wins this season are all by 10 plus. They haven't been in close games when they win. So give me the Bills to cover that number. Now, Monday Night Football. Kellen Moore, OC of the Chargers, going against his former football team, and Mike McCarthy calling plays, who looks like a stooge. Coming off a bye, Eckler's going to be back. Cam, the Chargers are 2-point home dogs. I'm running to the window to bet this, Cam. They're going to get some Dallas money. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I fall on my face, but I can't honestly give you the Dallas Cowboys as a pick right now, the way they're playing against, and the Chargers coming off a bye. Yeah, the Chargers are going to charge her. They'll find a way to screw this up somehow, I bet. But I have to take them as a home dog off a bye week, Cam, against the Cowboys.
It's actually hard for me to do this. I like the Chargers. Like, I have no issues with this team, but I'm taking Dallas. People remember what they saw last. It was a horrible game, one of the worst games I've ever seen. Were they exposed? Perhaps. Yes, they were. Was Prescott brutal? Yes. Was Mike McCarthy's and the play calling of this team awful? Yeah, definitely.
Cam, who's worse, Staley or McCarthy?
McCarthy.
It's close. It's close.
What do you think? Like, Staley can be better. He just crumbles under pressure. I just think McCarthy's not as bright.
McCarthy's terrible at game management and calling plays, Cam. Like, he wouldn't have won a Super Bowl without Rodgers. We can both agree on that.
That's a no-brainer. You put that, yeah, definitely. That's fact. I'm going to say McCarthy. These guys find a way to get it done. I don't trust the Chargers. Like, the thing is, Drew, the Chargers.
I don't trust either of these teams.
No, I don't either. This game is an absolute train wreck. Give me Dallas because they're the underdog at +2.
Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is?
Chargers.
Ooh, wrong, Cam, on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That might be the first time you've gotten 2 tiebreakers wrong. Maybe that's a good sign for me.
Could be.
We will see. Yeah, Cam, I just think, like, what do you think? Like, how does Jerry feel if Kellen Moore and the Chargers come in and just slaughter the Cowboys? Like, he's just like, oh, maybe I should have kept this guy.
I worry about the Cowboys too. I don't know their injury status. Like, a lot of guys got beat up in that game versus San Francisco, right? Like,
oh, did you see Micah Parsons after the game? Oh, the scoreboard doesn't reflect what happened. They're still the same level team as we are. Like, no, buddy. Like, I think they proved that they're a bet better than you guys.
Well, if you play San Francisco again, like, there were things that Dallas did well. Also, San Francisco would have won regardless. But this pass interference call, like San Francisco, when Dallas was doing well, everything went against them and they kind of crumbled, which good teams don't do. Like, early in the game, I'm like, okay, these guys can linger a bit, and then it just got out of control. Like, am I right, Drew? Like, the thing is, San Francisco is way better than Dallas. I'm not saying that, but Dallas is not as bad as they looked in that game.
No, but the issue with San Fran, Cam, they're paying their quarterback $800,000. Like, that lets you spend money everywhere else.
That's how that is the best recipe for success. For all you guys that don't know, that's how Seattle.
Oh, rookie quarterbacks? Like, on the rookie deal? 100%.
Seattle, when Russell Wilson, guys, for people who don't know, this guy used to be good. And Seattle, like, they were on a rookie contract. They could sign everybody. And it was like, yes. And we
look at the Rams with Goff, Cam. The Rams with Goff went to the Super Bowl.
That's my point. Like, when you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, like San Francisco, they're in the catbird seat right now. They just sit and go, wow, they add players. They can do whatever. Like, this is beautiful. That's how teams win. If you get a guy on a rookie contract who's, like, good, you have a chance to win a Super Bowl. The quarterback contracts kill teams. Big ones, it destroys teams because where do you lose? On the offensive line, the defensive line, all the other important areas, right, Drew?
The Eagles last year went to the Super Bowl. Hurts on his rookie deal, and he's a second-round pick. It's the same thing. All right, Cam, let's get into our best bets. Once again, this show is brought to you by Sports Interaction, your local sportsbook, 19+. Please play responsibly. Head on over to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. These are your best bets by Sports Interaction. Cam, we will start with you and your bronze, or would you like me to start with my bronze?
I would like you to start, Drew. You're the host. Why don't you take her away? Tell me where to go.
My bronze pick, Cam, will be the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. We both don't like this game, but I like the Chargers to punch the Cowboys in the mouth and McCarthy to be embarrassed in prime time because I would love the reactions. And I think the Chargers win this game. So give me this as my bronze. Where are you leaning?
My bronze pick is going to be the New Orleans Saints -1.5 against Houston. I think maybe it's time for the Saints to get on a little bit of a heater. I like what I saw last week. It was versus New England, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But I just think the Saints, with all their pieces, I worry about their game plan. That's the only thing I worry about as a coach. But other than that, they should be able to take care of business. They're a better team than Houston. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints.
Cam, my silver pick, also the New Orleans Saints. When we agreed last week on our best bets, it worked out, so I'm happy to hear that. I like the Saints to win this game outright, and it's only 1.5 points. I think they're the better football team, so give me New Orleans as my silver. What is your silver selection?
My silver selection is going to be... Am I going to do this? The New England Patriots. You
Ooh, I like it.
On this game. You sold me, and I'm listening. Give me the Patriots. I pray that Bailey Zappi starts. I can't deal with that piece of shit Mac Jones and hitting balls. And I told you, he's a wrestler. He's not a quarterback. He just turn this guy heel in wrestling, and he'll have a foreign object down his tight.
You see, he has more pick sixes than Brady had in his career already.
Yeah. Can you believe that? You can. That's what happens when you're a bad guy, Drew. Anyway, I just didn't like the fact people in the chat. You just have to understand something. This is the same guy that cleated guys in the nuts and stuff. So it's not about, you know what I mean? I'm actually saying things that are fair. Like, don't come at me here. Give me New England
fair.
+3. Thank you.
Cam, my gold pick, my platinum pick, whatever you want to call it, my best bet of the week is the Minnesota Vikings. I absolutely love them by 3 against Chicago. I think they absolutely slaughter the Bears. So give me the Vikings. I know JJ's out. Everybody, calm down. Addison and Osborne, they can make up for it against the Bears defense. I hit
that prop like last week, Drew. Addison was like, I'm like, here we go, baby. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah. I love his prop. Whatever it is this week, Cam, both Osborne and Addison, I'm taking them both. Give me the Vikings. I know you're not very confident in them, but I am. So we'll see. What is your gold selection?
My gold pick, Drew, it wouldn't be a show without Cam's stupid picks. But the thing is, sometimes they work, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I know San Francisco is the best team in the league. I'm not even debating it. I got Niner fans already planning to the Super Bowl. I will take Cleveland Browns, getting 5 in this spot. The NFL is about spots. And the thing is, San Francisco, thinking, you know what? Oh, we can't do any wrong. They blew out the Cowboys. This is a type of game that you could take off. If they are not motivated, Cleveland has the defensive pressure under Jim Schwartz. They have shut down every team this year. San Francisco, yes, they are a different level. I get it. But I just think San Francisco is going to sleepwalk through this game, maybe win, but not win by more than 5. Give me Cleveland.
Cam, I love that pick, the boldness of it. The Browns, I think they could win this game outright if their offense plays well enough, like we said. Everyone in the comments will be like, you're crazy, San Fran by 30, all this stuff. But we'll see. Everyone was calling us stupid last week for liking Atlanta, and it worked out. And the Jets, actually. I saw some comments telling us, how could you pick the Jets against the Broncos? Well, that's how.
How do you pick this? No, guy. Like, the thing is, don't ever come at me. Like, we're trying our best here. Like, this is not easy. Like, if you think you're going to go like 80% or whatever in the NFL, well, you know what? You should retire. Quit your job and become a professional.
Cam, the best cappers in the world go 65% or 60%. Like, that's like...
they're under 70%. So the bottom line
exactly.
is... it's tough.
Yeah. Anyways, Cam, it's now time to move on to your survivor selection. You are still alive. One more.
A lot of people.
I'm not alive. I died already like 2 weeks ago.
I thought you were.
Once again, this show Cam is brought to you by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino, featuring a brand new betting platform with even more ways to bet. Sports Interaction Casino, the best in market with live 24/7 dealers. Your homegrown sportsbook. Bet local. Download the app or go to sportsinteraction.com. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Cam, yes, you're still alive in Survivor. You had Washington, the Giants, Miami, Dallas, and Detroit last week. So I want to know who you're going with in this week.
Oh, God. Should I use Kansas City? Have I used Kansas City?
It's not a bad selection.
Have I used them? Have I used Miami?
No, you used Washington, the Giants, the Dolphins, Cowboys, and the Lions.
Yeah, I knew I used Miami. Okay. I haven't used the Bills?
Nope.
Oh, give me the Bills. I know it's the easiest pick of the week with 14, but, you know, with their injuries and stuff, I almost want to get them out of
Cam, why are you saying easiest pick of the week? Go knock on wood behind you. You know what happens when I say that.
I mean to win outright, not to cover.
Oh, okay.
If the Giants win outright, what are you going to do as a Bills fan? You're going to lose your mind?
Hey, if Tyrod Taylor wins that game, Cam, I might just throw in my Bills card. You won't see any Bills memorabilia behind me next week. I don't know.
Might as well be Tennessee. You bet them every week except for this week. Actually, you've gotten off, and they know what, they let you down last week. That's why you're mad at Tennessee.
I am mad at them. I don't know who would be my team, Cam. Maybe the Lions or the Browns. Like, I like the Lake Erie, the guys that all suck around Lake Erie. So I feel bad for all those teams.
You like the losers of Lake Erie. And the best thing is, Buffalo fan and Detroit fan have a lot in common. Remember that when there's a snowstorm in Buffalo, Detroit takes you guys in. It's almost like your brother cities. Like the Lions and Bills fans should get together because they're friends.
It's funny. And then but I absolutely despise the Red Wings though, but that's just in my blood.
Like the
All
Red
right,
Wings.
Cam. We will see you all back here on Thursday for our pick updates, our prop picks, and maybe we'll update our best bets. We'll see. I'll throw the screen on with you see our picks right now. There's Cam's selections, and there are my selections. They're likely to change on Thursday, but maybe a few, maybe not. Whenever I change, it ends up being wrong, so maybe I won't change this week. We'll see. Anyways, thank you for joining us once again. We will see you on Thursday.
This has been Drew and Stu, presented by Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.